Do we still have Mitchell on the line there with us? Because, yeah, I'd like to try to get with him if we can. Mitchell, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Thank you so much for waiting on the line with us. Maria, say hello to Mitchell,
Hello,
another one of
Mitchell.
your clients.
How you doing, Mitchell?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful, thank you.
So, Mitchell, I was just hoping that you could share a little bit of your story about how you met your wife, and I believe you met her in Medellin, Colombia. Is that correct?
Yes, it was last August, a year ago in August. I took a tour for an affair, and we got engaged within that first weekend of meeting.
Oh, wow. You got engaged that quickly. Must have been love at first sight. So tell us a little bit more about, after you got engaged, Mitchell, when was it that you decided that you were going to employ the services of Maria?
Pretty quickly. My brother also married a woman from Colombia, and he did everything himself, but he said if he could have afforded a lawyer, he would have used one, and I'm glad I did, because it's very complicated. But it is possible to do on your own, but I think if it's affordable for the person, you should definitely use a lawyer.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and you definitely can do it yourself, but like I was saying, when someone does something like this day in and day out, to me it just makes so much sense to have that professional guidance throughout the process. So how did the process go for you? How long was your fiance visa before she could actually get here? How long did it take?
Well, we started working on it right away, and it took about 6 months.
About 6 months, so that's about average.
Yes.
That's about right.
Pretty much what people would say.
Okay, great. And now your now wife, she had to go where for her interview?
She had to go to Bogota.
She had to go to Bogota.
And that went smoothly overall, but one little thing was wrong in her name on one document, a misspelling of her name, and they actually made her come all the way back to Bogota from Medellin, the airplane ride, just to bring that document back corrected. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Oh my God! Well, when you're dealing with bureaucracies, and that can happen in the names with all the different languages and everything. I mean, I know with my wife, she's had her spelling of her name changed like 4 times since she's been here. I mean, it's just amazing. From when now she's a U.S. citizen, and they had to change it again when she got citizenship. And so one little thing like
other
that.
Other Americans that went to that Bogota embassy said they were ashamed of the way the United States staff treated these women that were coming there. It's just
really
unnecessary the way they treat people.
Well, that's kind of like what Maria was just talking about too, that they're being a little bit more suspicious and treating them a little bit differently than they did, say, maybe 10 years ago. And that's sad. And again, maybe that is a little bit of a backlash from the immigration debate that's been raging in this country for the last couple of years. I don't know, but
it also depends on the officer. If it's a new officer and he is the one who is interviewing you or your fiance, so there could be a lot of problems that the officer does not know.
Yeah. I mean, these two people are in love, and it's a wonderful thing. I've been doing this for 15 years now, and I've yet to come across some kind of, what do they call it, like a scam where two people come together, like a sham marriage. Yeah,
yes.
A sham marriage where two people come together to try to fool the immigration. It was funny because they made a movie called Green Card, and that whole movie was about that. And my wife had watched that movie, and we had to go for our interview about 2 years after we were married, and she was thinking that they were going to ask us the questions about our house and what pictures were in our bedroom and separate us and make sure that we're really living together for the last 2 years. Of course, we had a child during that time, so when we walked in, they're like, "Oh, you guys are fine." And she's like, "Aren't you going to ask us the questions?" She was really looking forward to that whole process, which I'll get to you, Maria. I want to ask you a little bit about that. But Mitchell, so as you said, if you had to do this, you did use an attorney, and you would recommend one to someone. But what was, I guess, the biggest benefit you got from working with Maria's office, would you say?
I was very pleased with the work and the service, and communication was good. Everything was done by email. It was nice I didn't have to travel to Phoenix and all. I could avoid the expense of going to Phoenix and.
Now that's a good point that you bring up, because what state do you live in?
I'm in Delaware, and their computer forms that they send you are very organized and well done, and they have a nice setup as far as communicating with you with the computer and getting the forms done. And then also very important was Sandra in the Medellin office, who works for Foreign Affairs. She did a lot of work as well, and she was very helpful on the other side, helping Nora fill out all the forms and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's really important. We were talking about that, how a lot of attorneys that work will only work with the one side, the first side, with a petitioner, and you kind of let the fiancée fend for herself. So having that support for the fiancée in the different cities, I think, is really important. Yeah,
it felt like a fairly seamless integration between Maria Jones' office and the Office of Foreign Affairs in Medellin, and I think that was impressive.
All right, great.
How well Maria worked with how well things flowed between those two offices, I think worked well.
Yeah, I think it's a good synergy with that, because when you're in another country like that, to have someone that's well versed in how to fill out the basic forms and stuff, that really, really goes a long ways. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Mitch. I really appreciate it. And I just, please drop us a line. Let us know how things are going. And congratulations.
Well, we're doing adjustment of status now, and that's been going smoothly. I'm using Maria Jones for that as well.
Well, you are doing the adjustment right now. Oh, that's great. And we're going to ask Maria a few questions about the adjustment process as well. Once you get married, it's not quite over yet. You still have a few more things to do. So we'll talk about that. Again, Mitchell, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Mitchell.
All right. Good night. Bye now.
Good night.